How we check for understanding. Readers of nonfiction must consistently and carefully monitor their understanding, both during the read and after the read. We need to make sure we understand the who, what, where, when, why, and how elements of a topic, much like an investigative reporter does when reporting on a newscast. Being able to answer these questions is one way to check our understanding. While we read today, we're going to act as though we are investigative reporters using the same formula they use when preparing for a newscast. We are going to monitor our understanding while we read A Warmer World, From Polar Bears to Butterflies, How Climate Change Affects Wildlife by Carolyn Arnold, illustrated by Jamie Hogan. Today, we will use this organizer from your school-wide notebook. It's called a reporter's formula. Please make sure you have this ready. Having a pencil close by will be great too. We'll use this organizer to help us be similar to investigative reporters. By acting like investigative reporters, we'll be able to highlight main ideas from a text, as well as find evidence to support these ideas, as well as determine if we need to reread when meaning breaks down. Today, we're going to read the section From A Warmer World with the topic Warmer Water. While reading this section, we're going to learn about how warmer water affects inhabitants of water. As we read, let's consider the following questions. Who or what is affected by warmer water? Where and why is warmer water a problem? And finally, how can species survive in warmer water? Don't worry, I'll remind you of these questions as we go. Warmer water. I'm going to read the introductory paragraph here. Water-dwelling plants and animals have also been impacted by climate change. Water in the world's oceans, lakes, and rivers is growing warmer, affecting corals, fish, and many other species. Now let's think, who or what has been impacted by climate change? That's right, plants and animals, specifically water-dwelling plants and animals. Now let's read more specifically here. Now this is our introductory paragraph. This section here, entitled Coral Reefs, is going to be what we learn more specifically about. So these are the plants or animals that we will learn have been impacted by climate change. Now let's read specifically to see how they've been impacted by climate change and warmer water. I'll read this first paragraph, and what I want you to think about is this question. What do coral reefs do? Let's find out. Coral reefs protect shorelines from erosion by ocean waves, provide habitats and shelter for many species, and are a source of important nutrients in the food chain. Wow, it really seems like coral reefs play an important role. I found 3 pieces of text evidence to support the question of what they do. It looks like they protect shorelines, they provide habitats and shelter, and they're also a source of important nutrients in the food chain. I'm going to read the second and third paragraphs on this page. While I'm reading, I'm going to stop and ask you some questions, so make sure you're listening. Corals are extremely sensitive and can be killed if the surrounding water becomes too cold or too hot, even by only a few degrees. When corals die, the corals disappear from the outer skeletons and leave them white or bleached. The bleached coral can recover, but only if the water temperature returns to normal and the algae that coexists with the coral can grow again. How can water temperatures kill coral? Let's stop here and discuss. Why is it important for coral reef that water temperature returns to normal? Let's stop here and discuss. Great job. Let's continue reading. Follow along with me. Coral bleaching events have occurred more often and to a greater extent in the past 20 years than before. Global climate change may be playing a role in this increase, contributing to the destruction of major reefs and the extinction of many coral species. Wow, coral reefs are really important. I'm wondering, when have coral bleaching events occurred? Let's stop here and discuss. What might be causing the increase of coral bleaching? Let's stop here and discuss. As readers of nonfiction, it is important we monitor for meaning and return to the text when meaning breaks down. When we ask questions or act as investigative reporters, it helps us to understand the text a little better. We should always be asking ourselves, who, what, where, when, why, and how. As we read and reference different details specific to the text. All of these details help us to summarize the text. Asking guiding questions when we're reading nonfiction text is the best way for us to summarize. Using this reporter's formula from our school-wide notebook will help you to summarize text as we read and continue our unit of study. Acting as an investigative reporter is really going to help you read nonfiction because we're sure to gather all the information that we need. Great work today. I look forward to practicing and seeing you put these investigative tools to use in our unit of study.